Copy all. Audio and video on the web. 15 seconds. We're getting off the freeway? Oh my gosh, East LA. Getting off at Atlantic. Getting off at Atlantic, East LA. Real fast, real fast. Pursuit out here, we're just coming off of Atlantic, off the 60 freeway. You see that car right there. Shots have been fired. Look at that rear window broken out. Shots have been fired from that vehicle at officers. El Monte PD in pursuit of this car. Just made another quick turn on, I'm not sure what street it is, but we're making our way back over towards the freeway. Just got off at Atlantic. We're in the East LA area. El Monte PD's the ones that are in pursuit right now. They do not have a helicopter overhead, which is unusual. Officers on the ground are the only ones pursuing this vehicle right now. We're working our way. I believe we're going to be in the City Terrace area, looking out the window, trying to get a little bit better shot there, but we are eastbound right now. El Monte PD in pursuit of this vehicle. That broken window you see, that's from shots being fired inside the vehicle out towards officers this evening. You know, that's all kind of still sketchy right now. We're picking up some information that this possibly was a vehicle that was involved in some sort of drive-by shooting or shooting call. We got hard on the brakes right there, making their way around a vehicle. Eastbound right now, we're trying to get a name of a street. We're making a southbound turn. This vehicle moving very, very quickly this evening. I'm going to get a little bit wider, show you that the officer's still in pursuit of this vehicle. That's going to be El Monte PD right now. We're definitely not in the El Monte area. It looks like we're heading back towards the 60, but this vehicle very reckless this evening, driving extremely fast, no regards for any of these red lights, going across traffic right now. Something just came off of the car. Now, the reason why officers, well, obviously this vehicle's in pursuit, but when those shots were fired at the officers on the 60 freeway this evening, that's when this became a very, very serious, well, all pursuits are serious, but extremely serious pursuit. This guy right now running another red light right there, a solid red light this evening, working our way. We're paralleling the 60, actually heading back eastbound right now, and the officers from El Monte PD still in pursuit. We believe one person inside this vehicle. Those shots were fired. You can see that busted out rear window. Very desperate situation for that driver. That's going to be a problem for any of those people that are maybe in the area. This person obviously has no regard for anybody around him or himself. We're rejoining the 60 freeway. It's going to give us a little bit of better geographic areas, but right now though you can see this car moving extremely fast. We're passing Garvey right now. Officers from El Monte PD still close behind. They're looking for probably some help right now, trying to keep track of this vehicle extremely fast. That rear window has been shot out as this suspect was shooting at officers earlier on the 60 freeway. I'm sure the officers did not return fire. This shooting happened on the freeway, as we understand it, while that vehicle was moving. That glow you see right there, that suspect right now on the phone right there, you can see that busted window. You know, this type of situation, extremely dangerous for the public as well as officers right now. This vehicle moving extremely fast out here on the 60 freeway. We're actually working our way back over towards the El Monte area. That's where this all started. El Monte PD, the ones that are in pursuit right now. Shots were fired earlier on from that vehicle, blowing out that rear window. That's the information that we were told earlier on, that this vehicle original want, the reason why the officers even got behind it, apparently wanted for some other shooting earlier on. So this suspect, extremely dangerous, and this evening you can really see that type of terror in this person as he's moving so quickly on the freeway, changing lanes, getting off the road. When he was on those streets over there in East LA area, was extremely dangerous, cutting off many cars, running all the red lights that he was coming across, and right now extremely fast on the 60 freeway. I'm going to try to get you some speeds right now, but you can see him using all lanes out here this evening as El Monte PD still in pursuit. Right now I can tell you Sky 9 traveling at 102 miles across the ground. You know what? We are pretty much back where this started. We're getting over very close to the 605. Look how quickly this car is changing lanes at these extremely high speeds. Sky 9 tracking along this vehicle. We're going about 99 miles an hour. So right, let's just say even 100 miles an hour, even buck out here. This car using all lanes out here this evening. El Monte PD still behind that vehicle. They've kind of fallen back a little bit because of the speeds, but they are keeping up with this car for sure. Coming up to the 605 freeway right now, this car, the rear window shot out, as we understand it. That was from earlier on when the suspect was shooting out the window. Moving across all lanes right there, 605, it looks like is what we're going to be taking, northbound 605. So this is kind of putting us back in the El Monte area, but this person, as far as we've seen, most of the miles we've been seeing this evening has been on the freeway. So he has been on some surface streets earlier on, doing extremely dangerous maneuvers. We haven't seen any of those shots being fired, but you can see how this vehicle is radically changing lanes out there. One of those El Monte units is right there behind it. I'm just kind of getting a little bit of a closer look just to make sure it is El Monte PD. It definitely is. And that vehicle closing that gap. But that being said, there's very little that this officer can do when it gets up close to that car because of those shots being fired. I'm sure that officer doesn't want to get too close to that vehicle, but you got to see what kind of dangerous situation this is this evening as this car continues to elude officers, extremely high speeds, shots have been fired, very dangerous situation indeed for the public. Well, right now, Sheriff's Department, they are in the area, but it's definitely on the freeway. So I'm expecting California Highway Patrol might be joining this as soon as they can get the units in position. That being a little bit difficult with these high speeds and also the possibility that this driver may get back off the freeway again. I just seeing those wider shots right there to get people the idea that the officers are right behind this vehicle. Right now, getting back onto the emergency lane, this car using every lane possible, any piece of pavement so far, this car has been on it. And when those shots were fired, this became an entirely different situation. Officers were calling out for help as shots being fired at officers. That actually opens up an entire brethren of officer type of help type of situation. So I'm sure California Highway Patrol is going to get involved when they can, if they can get a unit behind it. But that being said, not really sure what they're going to be able to do with an armed suspect willing to shoot at officers from a moving vehicle. We're doing an eastbound transition now on the 10, this car using the emergency lane. Again, all lanes. By the time I say emergency lane, he's in the middle lane. All the lanes, high speeds, and this is a Toyota Corolla, as we understand it. Luckily, has not collided with any other vehicles, and you got to know when this does, if something does happen and this car does come to a stop, the fact that shots have already been fired really just opens it up for something entirely different. Looks like we're going to be transitioning or getting off. Finally, a helicopter overhead. Hard turn right there. We'll get you that off-ramp in just a second. But this pursuit continues out here, and I believe we're going to be in the Irwindale area right now. Whoops. Cul-de-sac, doors open, he's got no place to go. Boo! There we go, he just jumped out of the car. Car crashed into another parked car. I understand this is going to be a cul-de-sac area, helicopter overhead. Now he's trying to do some Olympics right there, slow climb over that wall. That phone is basically going to be keeping it lit up. A helicopter overhead, I'm not sure if that's going to be the Sheriff's Department, but lost him there in that darkness. We're going to keep an eye on this one area. That's the last one. He's over here. I saw the cell phone. So he's over here by the trees. That cell phone is what's really giving this guy away. Right now, though, he's by some trees. I don't know if the officers know this as well. I do know officers are arriving here on scene because I'm hearing some of that right now. But right now, this guy, the suspect, still running, keeping officers at bay. Shots were fired earlier on from this guy, so it's a very dangerous situation. Finally, over that wall, but continuing to run here. We're going to keep an eye on that phone. This guy's got to know that this has got to be giving him away. But then again, officers from that helicopter not really following him right now. So we're going to keep an eye on this. And I can assure you, law enforcement is on the scene. We're going to get some street names for you as soon as we know them. There he is. There he is. John, can you talk to the airship? White car. Hang on, I'll go wide. He just went right over it. It, you know, it. He turned off the light. Yep. It, there we go. There we go. There we go. Officers are on the street. They're passing it. It's this house. He's in the backyard. He just turned off the light in the back. Okay. All right. The light is in the wrong spot. He's got to go. He's closer. That's it. That's the house. That's the house. And there he is. He's right there. He's right there by the door. He's right there by the door. He's right there. That's him. He's hiding. He's right behind the door. Yep, behind the screen door. He is in the back. He's not on that phone, but he's in the back there. I'm trying to work with my pilot and work with that that airship that's over there. That's a California Highway Patrol airship. He's actually in that backyard. He turned off the light in the backyard. He's standing behind that screen door. That is the guy right there. Is he still armed? I don't know. But I can tell you that that is the suspect. There is no doubt about that in my mind at all. We followed this guy to this location. He tried to get inside. He's putting some stuff in that trash can right there. Obviously, if officers take him into custody, that's going to be one of the first things they look at. Now, this guy was actually by that shed for a little bit. Now he's walking away. I'm not sure if the California Highway Patrol has eyes on him as well, but that night sun is definitely right there in that area. He's right there on the side of the house. Now he's walking his way back over again. We've been following this guy the entire time. Right now, he does seem to be unarmed, but after those shots were fired at officers and now making this move to get on the go again, officers are not going to just kind of throw their hands up and say, oh, well, he's not an armed suspect. Very dangerous situation indeed. California Highway Patrol, that's the light that you're seeing right there right now. Officers are working to get their units in position, but this guy obviously getting his breath, making that run again. You've got to be concerned, though, for the people in this neighborhood. They've got to be, worried about if this guy tries to break into somebody's house right now. A convenient open door, unlocked door. A very dangerous situation indeed. I can tell you we are basically back in the El Monte area, the Bassett part of El Monte. Right now, though, that suspect still continues to elude officers, but you can see the flashing reds and blues in the area. They are close by, but these officers, they have to think they've got to be concerned. They've got to worry about life and limb, so they are not going to make a rush and work their way over here. But right now, this guy kind of narrowed down. That helicopter finally got this guy narrowed, locked down. We're going to keep an eye on it for sure. We'll get you that street name right there in just a moment. What was that, John? I'm sorry. I don't know. I looked away for a second and he was gone. Yeah, I think he's in that house too. In that back house. Come on. Yeah, I don't know where he went. That's either Empire or Baldwin Park. AMR. Well, right now, the officers that are on the ground, the helicopter, as witnesses person, make their way into this area, has not seen them leave. So this is going to be the 13,000. We're not 100% on this, but let's just say 99.9%. 13,000 block of AMAR is where we are right now, and this is one of the homes that's on that street. Officers from El Monte PD are out here in force right now. You can see them having their weapons drawn. These guys obviously not playing around. After a shot's been fired at officers during a pursuit, this is changes the scene entirely. So they are going to be very cautious if they make an approach onto this house, and when they do. It is a very large property. There are several types of homes out here. Are several places where this person could be hiding. We're not sure if that's actually a garage or a converted residence, but this is the last area where we saw that suspect make his move, and we didn't see him come out of this area, and neither did the officers from the helicopter. So right now, this is the last spot where we saw him. We believe this is the 13,000 block of AMAR. This suspect shot at officers from that vehicle. Anybody that actually has fired a weapon before has got to know that it is extremely loud, and to shoot something like that from a vehicle inside, it is just ludicrous. It is beyond crazy. They shot that. He was shooting that weapon from that car, out the back of the car, at officers on the freeway. It is so lucky nobody else was injured in this pursuit. Right now, though, we watched as this suspect got out of that vehicle, ran, was hiding. Officers got the light on him, and now they followed him to this spot right here. This home is surrounded right now. That suspect believes to still be in that on that property. Of this house, right? Yeah. He opened it underneath the carport. It looks like he went into a door underneath that carport. Yeah. Like right up in here. Well, we can move around. Yeah, everybody's here right now, so it's a little bit more difficult to move around, but we'll try to move. There might be a door on that side. I think I saw one earlier. A door. When we were in a different angle, I saw a door on that little part. He was between the houses. He's going over the wall. Going over the wall. Going over the wall. He just went over the wall. He's going onto another property. He's underneath the trees. Yep. He's going now. He's on the house next door. He's running out towards the blue tarp. Out towards the blue tarp. Damn, Jose. Eagle eye. I don't know. He just went between the building. I don't know if he went in. Oh. Well, that's where he went. That's the last place we saw him, right there by the... No, there's no... Well, there's cop cars outside. I mean, there might be an open... All right. Okay, 30 seconds, toss back, copy all. Am I talking too crazy? Is it too much cough syrup? Copy all. Turn away. Well, we did have our eyes on him, and the words were spoken, "I hope nobody is home." The last place we saw him is making entrance into this house, right there by that the water heater. There's a door, a side door on this home. We did see. We understand that he made his way inside this house. This is going to be on the 1300 block of Amar. Now, officers from El Monte PD were in pursuit of this person while he was in his car. Shots were fired from that vehicle at officers on the 60 freeway. High speeds, 100 miles an hour plus at some points. He got off the freeway, he got back on the freeway, worked his way back over to this area, got out and ran. We followed him. That helicopter followed him as well. This is the last place we saw him. We can kind of see that that door is open. This is going to be a home here on the 1300 block of Amar. Officers from El Monte PD have this home surrounded. That light is right there is a PD helicopter. They know that person's inside. So right now, I'm hoping nobody's inside that house, and I'm hoping that that person is not armed anymore. 13,000 block. Pasadena PD? Oh. Yeah, the door's open, John. You can when we were off at a little angle, you can see the door open. 13,400. It's right. Yeah, it's right next to the water heater. Man, these pursuits are getting nuttier and nuttier and nuttier. Yeah, the door's closed. It's what's that, Bassett? That's what I'm getting it as, Bassett. Well, it was Baldwin Park Boulevard. It was Baldwin Park Boulevard, and if they're on Amar, I just saw it. There's Amar. It's right next to Baldwin Park Medical, Kaiser Permanente. Copy that. Thank you. Amar and Fraser is across. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. "70 minutes in the air, 70 minutes in the air, and we have another pursuit in Orange County on the red." Yeah, but that's the water heater. Oh, right there, that little hole. Well, somebody was saying that he hopes nobody's home. We heard that. He went in that door. It's from the PD. Well, if he went out the front, these guys would have seen him. You know. Okay, he's in the front. He's in the front of the house. He's got his hands up. In the front of the house, he's got his hands up. He's given up. He's in the front of the house. Standing by. Well, he's not in custody as of yet. This is coming to an end now, finally. That suspect finally giving himself up, made his way into a home. Hopefully there was nobody home inside this house. He actually went in through a side door. Don't know if there's any relation or possibly just a random house that had an open door. This happening Baldwin Park, 13,400 block of Amar Boulevard. You can see the suspect right now, hands up. This is a suspect that shot from his vehicle out the rear window at officers earlier this evening while they were chasing him on the 60 freeway, speeds of 100 miles an hour. This was going on. Is also a suspect wanted in an earlier shooting. Right now, though, he's making that walk backwards. There's a tree going to be right there, but we know that officers are in the area right there. You can see him, El Monte PD, here on scene on Amar. This is a suspect that was in a pursuit, very high speeds, very dangerous situation. Earlier on, he got out of that vehicle. He ran. We watched. We followed. The Pasadena helicopter was out here. Pasadena PD was the one that was out here earlier on. We're going to try to move the helicopter around to get shots of him. But right now, there he is, the dog, making friends with him right there, kind of checking his leg a little bit, trying to get him into custody. And you can see officers right now just taking him into custody right there. This suspect now in custody. Hopefully, nobody else was injured inside that home in that short amount of time he was in there. I'm praying there wasn't any kind of injuries. Right now, El Monte PD taking this very dangerous suspect into custody this evening. K9 unit actually making that first contact this evening. Live over Baldwin Park. I'm Stu Mandel. Back to you guys in the studio. Woo! Rap! Yeah. Simon Desk, you still want us here at the 11? Yeah. All right. All right, I got to turn my mic off because I want to talk to my pilot. Hang on. I'm not sure if we're still on the web, but we were just discussing where the suspect may have dropped some items. And if the PD is aware of that, then they're going to start searching for that stuff. But anyway, if we're still on the web, thank you for joining us on this. It was, thank goodness we did not see a shooting at the end of this pursuit and standoff, and thank goodness nobody was hurt inside that home. I'm just being told that we are still live on the web, so if you're joining us and you're just catching the end of this, you should rewind it. It was a crazy pursuit. El Monte PD in chasing a suspect, shooting out the back of his car. You know, this is something that you see in the movies, but anybody who's actually fired a weapon before knows how extremely loud that can be. And to do that inside a confined space, I mean, is deafening and just beyond nuts. He was shooting that weapon out of the back of his vehicle at officers on the 60 freeway. Thank goodness no civilians or anybody, any bystanders were struck. After all that craziness, he got off the freeway, did some crazy maneuvers, ran some red lights, it just basically got back onto the freeway. He got off over there in the East LA area, made his way back over here to El Monte Baldwin Park, dumped the vehicle, fell out of the car. Looks like he almost got ran over by the vehicle, and then proceeded to run through the darkness. Pasadena PD's helicopter showed up, had their light on this guy for some time. We followed along. We saw this guy hiding, trying doors, hiding things in trash cans. That was what we were just talking to him about. Right now, though, the suspect actually made his way into a home, found an unlocked door. Not sure if this is a house that he knows. If he doesn't know, extremely scary situation, I can imagine, for the people inside that house. Made his way inside that home, but then walked out the front door and gave himself up. We did see the canine making first contact with that suspect, kind of shaking him down, as it would be, and then officers taking him into custody. Right now, one suspect in custody here on Amar Street. This is going to be the 13,400 block of Amar in Baldwin Park. El Monte PD taking a very dangerous suspect into custody this evening. Wanted shooting suspect, and gosh only knows he shot at the officers on the freeway. So this guy, obviously somebody that we should hope that was off the streets, now off the streets. El Monte PD working with that suspect. He's on the other side of that vehicle. I'm guessing an ambulance may be showing up here shortly, but you know, it's a beginning, a middle, and an end. This story is coming to an end now with that suspect in custody. And if you have some comments, you can leave them here on Facebook. I'll try to get to them a little bit later. If not, you can always hit me up, Stu Mandel, on Twitter. I'm a little bit more responsive on the Twitter. But anyways, thanks for watching, and it was awesome. Oh, I'm reading some tweets right now that people are asking me about that pursuit in Orange County. That pursuit in Orange County is over. No, I'm just doing this for Facebook. Somebody was asking about the pursuit in Orange County. It is over. It is over. No, I think he's lighting up where they took him down. That's the house where he took him down. And he's right there. He's on the ground. They got time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, none at all. I should give you some thank yous, man. You were eagle-eyed today, Jose. Team effort. Yeah. Yes. Were you with us with the one where he's hiding in the shed and they send the dog into the shed? That was awesome. Hang on, Mark's calling me. Go ahead.